Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats, because this is not just another update. This is a bombshell exploding right now in the heart of Britain. Just 1 minute ago, fresh reports are flooding in. Streets from Birmingham to Manchester are erupting in chaos, mobs clashing with exhausted police and communities on the brink of total breakdown. All after Keir Starmer's disastrous first year in power. Mr. Speaker, does the Prime Minister believe that when a nation descends into total shambles, the person at the top should resign? That's no joke anymore. The numbers scream it. Public disorder up 41%. Illegal migration skyrocketing 29%. Violent street incidents surging 33%. And government confidence plummeting to a historic low of just 19%. All in 1 year, under Starmer's iron-fisted denial. While Starmer parades on TV studios preaching stability, Britain is plunging into the fastest surge of domestic unrest since the 2011 riots. But this time, it's not isolated. It's everywhere. Birmingham, Manchester, East London, Leeds, Cardiff, communities overwhelmed, police on their knees, local councils screaming operational collapse. And Starmer, he insists everything's under control. Tonight, we're ripping the lid off 5 major changes that slammed Britain. The second Starmer waltzed into. Number 10. Changes so brutal and destabilizing that even die-hard Labour voters are howling. What the hell did we vote for? Before we unleash the truth, hit me in the comments. Is Britain safer or more dangerous today than a year ago? One word. Safer or worse. Smash that like button if you're furious, subscribe for more unfiltered exposés, and let's dive in. Because the elite won't tell you this, but we will. The utter collapse of public order under Starmer's clueless watch. Folks, in just 12 months, Britain has witnessed the fastest deterioration of public safety in modern history. And the stats are catastrophic, straight from the front lines. Street violence exploded by 44%. Large-scale disorder incidents jumped 51%. Arrests tied to migrant-linked unrest, a staggering 63% spike. Police injuries up 38%. Emergency response delays a shocking 67%. Councils in 42 boroughs have burned through their security budgets, torching over £600 million on riot control, migrant containment, and overtime that could have fixed our crumbling roads. This isn't mismanagement. This is a system shattering into pieces. Across the nation, the chaos isn't some abstract theory. It's raw, visible, and exploding in broad daylight. Birmingham clocked 9 mass disturbances in under 6 weeks. That's more than one every week. Manchester's street attacks, linked to cross-border migration routes, blasted up 34%. East London hit over 12,000 antisocial and violent reports, the highest since records began. Glasgow and Leeds, both screaming, public order stress thresholds exceeded. A phrase pulled straight from wartime nightmares. And what does Starmer do? He trots out the same scripted nonsense. Police are managing the situation. But the cops themselves are begging to differ. Leaked internal docs from last month expose the horror. 1 in 3 officers eyeing resignation. Over 19,000 emergency calls downgraded due to crippling shortages. More than 200 senior commanders labeling national stability as fragile to failing. Frontline heroes feel abandoned. Ordered to avoid escalation with high-risk migrant groups. Crowd control teams outnumbered and politically gagged. Met police supervisors admitting they can't guarantee safety in city centres on weekends. The fallout? Stabbings at train stations, mobs terrorizing shoppers, flares and extremist chants overtaking high streets. Families too scared to take kids out after dark. This isn't random. It's the direct result of a Prime Minister who prioritizes optics over order, politics over protection, appeasement over authority. The British people know it. 72% in polls say Britain's more dangerous. 61% declare police have lost control. 58% pin the blame square on Starmer. Over 1 million citizens avoiding city centres altogether. Under Starmer, Britain didn't just lose grip, it lost faith, the glue that holds a nation together. And if this spiral keeps twisting, public order won't weaken. It'll snap like a brittle bone. But here's the kicker. While Labour fiddles, Reform UK is rising like a phoenix, championing the tough border controls and law and order policies the people crave. Nigel Farage himself said it best in a recent rally. We've had enough of this weak-kneed betrayal. Time to take back our streets. You won't hear that on the BBC, folks. The migration surge that's shattered Britain's capacity. Under Starmer, illegal migration didn't creep up. It detonated by 29% officially, but Border Force insiders whisper the real number's closer to 42% when you factor in untracked landings and ghost arrivals. That's not a wave. That's a full-scale breach. Overwhelming hospitals, GPs, councils, and housing, like a tidal wave from hell. Kent and London A and E's, delays up 71%. GP slots gone by 8:40 a.m. 47 councils issuing service stress alerts, housing at breaking point, with hotels turned into migrant barracks and leisure centres into processing mills. Starmer calls it manageable, but the insiders scream otherwise. Border agents chasing phantoms, councils one intake from implosion, social care teams drowning in caseloads. A leaked Home Office memo? Incoming volume exceeds sustainable thresholds. Code for "We're done." Towns like Dover, Hull, Birmingham, and Croydon transformed overnight, neighbourhoods swelling with unplanned spikes. Criminal networks feasting on the chaos. Costs? A record £4.3 billion, with hotels guzzling £8.2 million daily. Total burden? Likely over £11 billion. Fueling inflation and eroding trust. Deportations down 18%, appeals up 34%, asylum backlog at 132,000 plus. Labour promised fairness and firmness. We got chaos and denial. But wait, it gets darker with change number 3. The policing breakdown. 2 systems, 2 standards. Starmer's created a nightmare where everyday Brits, farmers, drivers, veterans get hammered with fines and bans, while extremist-linked groups chant jihad, block streets, and intimidate with impunity. Response times for violence up 48%, charges against disruptors down 31%, but prosecutions on low-risk Brits up 22%. Frontline cops spill it. We're restricted, advised not to escalate political pressure like never before. Footage from London, Bristol, Leeds, Cardiff shows it all. Masked agitators, halting ambulances, radicals taunting synagogues, flares in shops, police standing idle. But farmers protest? Banned. Lorry drivers block a lane? Cuffed in hours. Veterans march? Restricted. Polls? 69% say policing's biased. 57% claim special protection for extremists. 54% lost all trust. Even officers agree in anonymous polls. Morale shattered, leadership politicized, enforcement unequal. This is the elite, shielding the untouchables, while the people suffer. Reform UK, they're the voice shouting, enough, pushing for one law for all, no more two-tier betrayal. As Farage thunders, the people demand justice, not this Labour farce. The economic squeeze nobody voted for, hitting wallets like a sledgehammer. Energy bills creeping up, food prices outpacing wages for 12 months straight. Small businesses collapsing, not from failure, but vanished margins Starmer swore to protect. A Birmingham bakery owner, survivor of the pandemic, shut down last week. I did everything right. Government did nothing. Starmer's spin? Long-term strategy? But families don't eat strategies, commuters face cancelled trains, while ministers tout modernisation. Fuel jumps 8%, councils hike taxes, all while the elite stay cushy. Shops shortening hours over crime costs, markets thinning, city centres hollowing, Britain feels poorer in pocket and spirit. A slow suffocation under Labour's grip. Public reaction? Boiling over. Social media erupts with fury. Hashtags like #Starmer out trending. Millions venting betrayal. Lifelong Labour voters flipping to Reform UK, drawn to their no-nonsense fixes on Brexit dividends and energy independence. Polls show Reform surging, capturing the frustrated masses tired of elite games. The culture shift no one voted for, quieter but deadlier. Traditions diluted, events rewritten for sensitivities, neighbours self-censoring, schools pushing unagreed values, Britain's shared glue thinning under Starmer's fear of defending mainstream norms. We didn't vote for tiptoeing around identity politics or replacing norms with activist whims. This disconnection breeds uncertainty. If it continues, what Britain remains? Reform UK steps up, championing British pride, opposing net zero madness, and reclaiming identity from globalist elites. Influenced by Trump and Vance's wins, Farage's movement ignites hope, taking back control, one vote at a time. Folks, after these 5 shattering changes, one truth blasts through. Starmer's Britain is descending into chaos. But Reform UK's rise offers the people's salvation. This could end Labour's betrayal, the elite crumbling under populist fire. Tell me in the comments, does Britain feel stronger or more uncertain? Is Reform UK our future? Smash like, subscribe for daily exposés. You won't see this on mainstream media. Please click super thanks to support the channel and keep the motivation flowing for more hard-hitting content. Our next video, a mind-blowing dive into Starmer's hidden scandals. Stay tuned